I need to do that, but with that, I need to do that, but that's going to get in the way of that. Oh no! No. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to King Bespoke Creations. Now, I've had a massive headache this week trying to figure out which step of this Archtop build I need to do next, because everything involves everything else being done first. Proper pain. So I left you last time after flattening this area off to get the neck break angle, and we've done that so that we can use the big router to route out the neck pocket that needs to come out of here. Now the trouble is the neck pocket's going to be deeper than that, so it means I need the wood that's going to go in the centre of this design to be attached underneath. Easy peasy, one says. Right, let's make that ring then. Trouble is, if I glue all of that on, that's going to make hollowing out that really difficult, because it's got this extra lip that's going to get in the way, but I can't hollow that out until I've got this cornered off, but I can't corner that off because I need to put the neck pocket round it. Ah! And it goes on and on and on. So this is what I thought I'm going to do. I'm going to have a block where the neck pocket needs to be on there, and I might do a corresponding one at the end just to give me an even flat surface, but I'm not going to glue in the rest of the ring that goes around the edge, the lip in between the two. Now, it's not going to be quite that thick. So I think that's what I'm going to need to do, is do the neck stuff underneath so I can route out the neck pocket. Once that's done, I can then carve the rest of these shoulders, then we can flip it upside down and hollow things out. And I've been testing a little way to do that hollowing out. So I just grabbed a chunk of wood, curved off the back. I managed to get a hollow out, split it out to C, and it's given me that. Not too bad. So if you want to know how I did that and which tools I used to do that, keep hanging on. I want a good 1.5 inch thickness to make sure I cover the bottom of this neck as it comes through. So I'm going to have a good 1.5 inch thick middle section going running all the way through in between this top wood and the bottom wood. Right, so 1.5 inch, I want an 1.5 inch strip cutting off that. Don't fancy doing that by hand. That is a rip cut and a half. Now, I've just replaced the blade on my bandsaw because the other one snapped. I didn't spend any money at all, really. Super cheap pair of bandsaw blades, just straight from Amazon. No name, no idea who made them. But I tell you what, it made a huge difference. So this might actually cut this big thick stuff if I take it super slow. I've set my fence to a little bit over the 1.5 inch that I want, just to make sure I've got enough room to run a plane through it, and make sure that we've got nice flat super slick edges ready to glue up. Right, let's see if we can make that all work then. What a blade! So this is the 6 teeth per inch option. I could have gone for 14, but I figure most of this is going to be heavy stuff. And you know what? That is not a bad finish at all, straight from there. A quick go over with a plane. We'll see where you have to change sides because I ran out of room with a window. Means there's a little bit of more planing to do on that section. But actually that's run really nice, and it's kept straight as well. Very, very impressed. I will definitely put a link in the description if you need a replacement bandsaw for just a small bandsaw. I think it was a 1400mm. Definitely I'd recommend those bandsaw blades. Brilliant. Right, so while I've got the bandsaw set up for that thickness, I'm going to rip cut the rest of this block down as well, so I've got enough to go all the way around the edges in as long a strip as I can get. A little tip though, when you're going to do that, the rest of the chunk that you're going to put back through the bandsaw, because I'm using the fence, I'm going to plane this edge off beautifully flat again, so it'll run nicely against the fence. I wouldn't want that kink to be in the way, because that's probably just going to get bigger and bigger as you go through otherwise. Right, so as we move on, plans change and develop, don't they? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make the entire ring that's going to be this central section of the guitar, but just not glue all of it together in one go. So I'm definitely going to glue on the neck block, because I need that to do the neck pocket, and I think one block either side. So again, using a chunk of this either side of it to give it that extra strength as I'm routing through from the other side. The rest of it as it goes through, I want them to make sure that they match. So this block at the end here has come off this one piece. So I know that they're going to run in line and be the correct width. And then I can do the same with these sections and that one there, and then as it splays out, everything should match. Oh, there's the hope. Okay, so this is where I've got to so far. These three sections are going to be glued onto the body so that I can do the neck pocket. But I'm aware that this is massive here, isn't it? So we don't need all of this. So I'm going to glue these two pieces together. Then I'm going to mark off where the outside goes. Then try and trim that kind of a good section off there, to release as much space inside as possible. Then we can go through and work and glue these parts together. We'll need an extra little bit on there for the wings. We can shape the outside of that, and then because these beams aren't gluing onto these yet, it means we might just be able to get and cut round the outside, or the inside of that should I say, possibly on the bandsaw. Interesting.
Always slide your pieces.
Right, so now that this block in the middle has set, I'm just going to line up where I've got tiny pencil marks just about. There we go. There and there. And just clamp that together. So no glue for these side sections. Okay. So I don't want those glued up just yet, but they do need to sit flush. Then I can line everything up with my center line. There and there. Which means they should fit in there. It's going to be snug, but yeah, we get those in. Beautiful. Right, so now I need to glue that to that to that to that to that. Well, that's that all clamped up. So I've taken it off the body just so it doesn't glue itself overnight. And then we can come back in the morning when that's solid, and then we can cut it to shape using the bandsaw. Hooray! Well, good morning, folks. It's the morning after the night before. Let's see what's happened. Take these clamps off. Oh, here we go. So we should have, yeah, that come apart quite nicely. Hurrah! Right, so I wouldn't trust that with any strength at the minute. So I'm going to put that centre section back in there, and I'm just going to put a clamp on there while I work for now. Right, so it's stuck down to the template, so I'm going to work my way around close to the edge, but not right up to it. I'm going to try it with the bandsaw as well, with this new blade on. I've put some extra tape on the back just to hold these centre sections hopefully in place so that they don't slip. Well, and let's see what happens. Cross your fingers. So now with the outside edge cut, I can come through and just mark off something like ½ inch, maybe a little bit more than ½ inch at the minute, thickness around the edge. For that kind of area, I want it to come back to here, so that's going to do that. Similar kind of thing through here as well, because I want some strength on these sides to give the neck pocket more sides to it, basically. Sorry if my arm's blocking the view. One of the problems of being a lefty. I'm going to swap out the template that I've got, because I want to keep that template. I don't want to go cutting that out. Stick a random piece of plywood underneath to give it some extra support again while I go back to the bandsaw and start cutting out these sections. What I can do now is take these 3 metal sections off and cut those separately, and then we can line those up again later on. Now, massive apologies to Chris Franklyn for wasting all of this good guitar building material, this plywood stuff here. We're all part of this Use What You've Got challenge. I'll put a link in the description for everybody that's taken part so far. If you want to have a go, rummage around for some wood in your workshop and build a guitar. It doesn't have to be made of anything special. Right, there we go. Right, we've now got the wall that's going to go all the way around with this central section that isn't glued in. So I can now glue this onto the top half of the body, which is what we were all trying to do in the first place. That was a long-winded way around, wasn't it? Okay, so we've got everything in place. So I can move that out the way. I'm going to stick a brace across that to keep that safe while it's in storage. I've marked off exactly where the back edge of this, can you see that pencil line there? Right, so I know exactly where that's going to go. Like that. Ah! I think we're okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Well, what a puzzle that turned out to be. But I think we've got somewhere in the end. And you know what did it? It's actually getting in the workshop and grabbing hold of something and making it work. I think sometimes we can sit and think about things and it just goes over and over and over in your head. But when you actually start cutting some wood, well, you make it fit at the end, don't you? So this is now glued in. I've not clamped it because every time I put a clamp on it, it just moves and wants to slip and slide. Because of angles underneath, it's very difficult. So leaving it flat, rubbed it round, which creates a capillary action. So actually it doesn't really need clamping. So that can stay as it is. I've put a little clamp on here just to put a board across to protect this ring that we've made as well. Raw, happy days. So in the next video we will be routing a neck pocket. How exciting. And then we can look at hollowing out the top and the back to make this a hollow body archtop guitar. Can't be a hollow body if it's not hollowed out, can it? Until then, sharpen your tools. I'll see you soon. God bless.